오케이, 오늘은 이제 오케이. 로사 파크가 읽어볼 건데 이게 사람이 되게 중요한 역사적 인물이었던 것 같아. 여기에 적혀있는 그 보면은 Moment of Truth 헤드인데 When Rosa Parks was growing up 몬트고머리, 알라바마에서 자랐고, she hated the unfair rule that black people had to live by, like drinking out of special water, fountain and riding in the back of the bus. Years later, Rosa Parks changed the rules of African American in Montgomery and they all cross America with one courageous act. 그 사람이 흑인 차별에 대한 거를 불공평하다고 생각을 했고 저항운동을 한 사람. On a December evening in 1955, Rosa Parks refused to give up her first seat to a white passenger. 버스 타고 가다가 1955년에 백인이 비키라 그런 거지. 그래가지고 이제 버티기다가 체포가 된 것 같아. She was arrested and put in jail. 감옥까지 갔어. 그냥 자기가 먼저 앉아 있었던 자리에 백인이 야 너 비켜 이랬는데 안 비켰다는 이유만으로 체포돼서 감옥까지 간 거야. But Rosa Parks fought back along with many other African Americans after a long struggle. Their heroic efforts launched the modern civil rights movement. How could one quite gentle woman have started it all? This is her story. 이게 아마 어떤 면에서는 그거 흑인 차별에 대한 철폐. 그때는 1955년 그때는 법으로 불평등함이 정해져 있었는데 그거를 어떤 불평등함에 대한 거를 없애기 위한 운동을 일으킨 결정적인 사건 중에 하나. 1955년. 우리나라가 6.25 전쟁이 끝나고 한참 엉망일 때. On Thursday evening, December 1st, 1955, Rosa Parks left work and started home. She was tired. Today I will ride the bus, she thought. She got on and sat in the first seat for black. Flight habit right behind the white section. After a few stops, the seats were filled. A white man got on. He looked for an empty seat. Then he looked at the driver. The driver came over to Mrs. Parks. You have to get up, he said. All of the sudden, Mrs. Park knew she was not going to give up her seat. This time she was not going to move. 오케이. 이걸 일러스트가 이런 식으로 있어. 이렇게 아마 흑인이기 때문에 차별을 받은 것 같아. 로사 파기네. 완전 파은 아니고 parks 이렇게 되는 거네. Chapter 1. Rosa was not afraid, although the white boy was near his mother. When he pushed her, Rosa pushed him back. Why did you put your hand on my child? The mother asked. Because he pushed me, Rosa said. Don't you know that could have you put in jail? The mother asked. Rosa, I don't want to be pushed by your son or anyone else. And she worked on. There was in Mont- Montgomery, the capital of Alabama, where Rosa lived. She was a child then, and not many people knew her. But after she grew up, anyone in Montgomery and people all over the United States and the world would know about Rosa Parks. Rosa was born in Tuskegee, Tus- Tuskegee, Alabama, not far from Montgomery, on February 4, 1913. Her name was Rosa Mc, McCurley. What are you doing now? Here. McCurley. Her parents were James and Rona McCrae. Mr. McCrae was a carpenter. Mrs. McCrae had once been a teacher. And Rosa was still very small. Her family moved to a little farm at the edge of Montgomery. There, she lived with her mother and her grandparents and her younger brother, um, Sylvester, younger brother Sylvester. Her father had moved to another city. Rosa attended the Montgomery Industrial School for Girls. She was a quite little girl, so liked to read. To read. One of her favorite class was sewing. Was she made the apron, handkerchief, and is to sew dress for herself. In Montgomery, Alabama, all over the South, there were a group of white men called the Ku Klux, Ku Klux Klan, KKK. Sometimes they were called the KKK. These men were proud, proud. They were white hoods over their head to hide their face and white sheet around their body. They wanted black people to be slaves, so they would set fire to the home and school the black people, schools of black people. They would also drag people from their homes and kill them. Sometimes at night, Rosa would not go to bed. She knew that at any minute the KKK might break into her home and beat up or kill the whole family. So she said recently and waiting with her grandfather who kept his shotgun nearby. The KKK never came, but Rosa stayed awake many nights. Black people had other problem in Alabama. There were special rules that they had to live by. Rosa did not Rosa did not like these rules at all. She did not like having to drink out of a special water fountain in public place, but somewhere for white people only. She did not like the old crowded schools. The most black children went to while the white children went to new school. And when Rosa found out that she could not eat and drink and at the food con- counter counters in the downtown store, she did not like that either. One day, she and her cousin Annie Mae William, Williams were shopping. They were 30 and went into a 5 and 10 cent store. Okay, into a 5 and 10 cent store, and in Mac asked for a soda. The white saleswoman said, "I'll sell you an ice cream cone." The saleswoman meant that she could eat the cone outside and would not have to sit at the counter. But enemy, enemy did not understand. She asked for a soda 3 times. Then the saleswoman romped over and whispered, "We don't sell soda to colored people." "Well, why didn't you tell me that in the first place?" Enemy asked, asked angrily as she and Rosa read. With her mother's help, Rosa was able to grow up proud of herself and other black people, even while living with this role. Her mother taught her not to judge people by the amount of money they had or the kind of house they lived in or the clothes they wore. People should be judged by the respect they have for themselves or others. Mr. McRae said Rosa grew up believing this. It helped her to do the hard things that she had to do later in life. After she graduated from junior high school, Rosa took some high school course at Alabama State College. It was a different kind of college. It was for students of all ages, from nursery school through college. After Rosa worked at several jobs, she had grown up to be a lovely young woman. She had a quite gentle way to talking and moving, and sparkling brown eyes. A few weeks uh, before her 20th birthday, she married Raymond Parks, the barber. 발사랑 결혼했구나. Rosa McCrae became Mrs. Rosa Parks. Many years had passed since Mrs. Parks was a child, but Montgomery still had special rules for black people, and Mrs. Parks still did not like them. In spite, in spite of her gentle way, she still believed in defending herself. Now she decided that she would defend herself and her people too. She joined the NAACP, a group of people who work, who work to get better house and job for black people. They also send lawyer into court to help black people who have been treated unfairly. Some NAACP member are teenager. Many times after working all day, Mrs. Park would meet with the teenager of the Montgomery NAACP. She would have them run about the problem of their city. Sometimes she would work as a secretary to Edgar Daniel Nixon. Mr. Nixon was president of the Montgomery NAACP. Mrs. Parks also joined the Montgomery Water Review. The member of the review wanted all black people to vote. Mrs. Parks visited the homes of black people, teaching them how to pass the voting test. They had to pass the test without one mistake to have their name placed on the voting list. Many white people did not want black people to vote. They said that black who tried to vote lose their jobs or have to move from their homes. But the black people were brave. They knew that they had uh, as much right to vote as the whites. As much as she could, Mrs. Parks refused to go along with the unfair rules the city had made. When she was downtown, she walked, she walk, walked, walked up and down the stairs rather than ride the elevators Mark curved on her day when her throat was dry. She walked past the water foundation Mark curved. Hmm. Often she walked the mile from home to work and the mile back again from work to home rather than ride the bus. But the buses were lost to a black person who wanted to ride the bus had to get on at the front door and pay his fare. Then he had to get off, go to the back door, and get on again. Sometimes the driver would drive away before the person had time to get back on. If he could on the person was allowed to sit only the certain seat. The city in the front half were for white, the city in the black were for black. Whenever a white person got on the bus and found no empty seat, the driver would go to the black people sitting nearest to the front. Hey, you! She would, he would say, get up and let this white man sit down. And the people would have to get up. The rule said that the driver was the king of the horse. Hmm. Mrs. Park felt as if something inside her died a little each time she had to ride the bus. She felt especially sad because of the little children. A child would run on the bus ahead of his mother and sit down. If he sat in the wrong part of the bus, his mother would pull him up and move quickly to the back. If the driver yelled at them, the child would ask, "Why can't we sit there, Mama?" But the mother would have no answer. 음, 그렇겠다.